all new. AM 1150 WTMP.com.
Yeah, that's us.
Listen.
All right. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. The Porch Talk Radio,
Live.
the herd is here. The herd is here. The herd is here. All right. I am actually happy today. I went to an event last night. The Muslims had a Muslim in History event, and it was a nice event. And I was invited by my good friend, Selena Ward, and we sat at her table, me and my wife, and it was a good evening. So thank you, Selena, and you folks will get to meet Selena, in a week or two here, because we're gonna have her on the show. She's a Democrat and she's running for school board, and she's in District 5.
So that's different than Sally Harris?
Well, Sally is in District 7.
Ah.
So we make sure,
Okay.
we don't cross, certain paths.
No.
Because the school board got 7 seats. So, all of them don't show up, being available at the same time, and I got to make sure I take advantage of this opportunity at the beginning of the show, because sometimes we get carried on and get started and forget some things, and I'm getting older. So from time to time,
get better, right?
I forget stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. So we want to make sure it don't happen this week, because the Florida Strawberry Festival is only going to be here for another a week or so, and we got tickets. So
tickets for who?
This is what we're going to do.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna do this before we even start the show, so that way I get it done. In case I get carried away, we get a bunch of phone calls. The Florida Strawberry Festival is here. We got some tickets, some general admission tickets. I'm not gonna tell you how many, because it ain't your business, But
No,
you
man.
got to do something to get it. This is not the free show. This is Porch Talk Radio. So in order to get tickets, to the Florida Strawberry Festival. Now, the tickets are free if you do what we tell you need to do. You need to go to Porch Talk Radio on Facebook, and join the page. Facebook, Porch Talk Radio. Join the page. And we got some tickets for Chubby Checker. I know there's a bunch of twisting fans out there.
Absolutely.
And yes,
we're the twisting capital right here, buddy.
The original twist man himself, started right here in Tampa, a number of years ago. And the guy who started it is still doing the twist. So you want to talk about a one-hit wonder, and turning a lifetime into that one hit. Chubby Checker is still twisting, and he's going to be twisting at the Florida. He's going to be twisting at the Florida Strawberry Festival, and he's going to be doing it this week. And he's going to be doing it Wednesday, March 4th, 3:30 in the afternoon.
Excuse me?
Again, Chubby Checker and the Wildcats will be performing at the Florida Strawberry Festival in Plant City on Wednesday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Now, what you can win is you win tickets to the show, and you win tickets to get you into the Strawberry Festival. So you go into the gate at the Strawberry Festival, and then you got to go to the pavilion where the show at.
Yeah, 2 separate things. You're right.
Yeah, so you get in the Strawberry Festival, stay all day if you want. It's up to you. You can go at 8 o'clock in the morning and stay till 9 o'clock at night, and then
Till the cows come home.
and then go to the show at 3:30 if that's what you want to do. If that's how you do it. But it's important that that you go to Porch Talk on Facebook. So go to Porch Talk Radio on Facebook. It's important that you do that first. Join the page. Then, if you want to, you can email me, Eddie, at porchtalkradio.com, or you can text me, and I will make arrangements. And I normally don't do this, But I figure I had to get you these tickets. I either call you for the tickets, or either I show up at your house or your workplace or whatever, and make sure you get these tickets. And we already got a call already. We got a call already, and I haven't even, given out, all the information. So caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this Saturday afternoon. What say you? And who are you and where you calling from?
Thank you very much. This is Fred. Right now I'm in Tampa.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Brother Adams, Fred Hearn.
Yes, sir.
I'm not calling to win the tickets because I didn't go on Facebook. I heard you give out directions. But it was actually Hank Ballard who wrote the twist, who recorded the song, and then 2 years later, Chubby Checker re-recorded it. So just giving credit to Hank
Awesome.
Ballard.
Thank you, sir.
We have a Hank Ballard Street
Yes.
and encore named in Hank Ballard's honor.
Well, thank you. And Hank Ballard was the originator and all that kind of stuff, but for the last 50 or 60 years, it's been associated with Chubby Checker. So,
But thank you for bringing the truth
so
to
we
us.
want to be historically correct.
Hysterically correct, you mean?
Say that again, Fred. Oh, he gone.
He
Okay, all right. Well, thank. That's our local historian, and Fred Hearn has been a good friend of mine.
So
No.
Fred is historically correct, and we're just hysterically incorrect.
Yeah,
Got it.
we
close.
we saying
It's
that
spelled similar,
the
Eddie.
one-hit wonder guy has been the Chubby Checker with the twist.
It's spelled similar.
So we didn't say he wrote it, recorded it, or anything else.
There you go.
We didn't
Sound like a
get
politician
that.
now. Watch out.
We didn't get that deep into it. And also, there's another thing that we want to make sure that you understand, that there's a lot of stuff that has went on over the last month here in Tampa Bay, towards it being Black History Month. And this day, and when we get to this day in history, this is one of them unusual days, because this is a leap day in a leap year. So this day makes this year a leap year, which changes everything. Everything
Wait a minute, Eddie.
jumps ahead a day.
That means an extra day of Trump.
An extra day.
Oh
of
my
Trump.
goodness,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, and I want to put it out there right now that we got a very interesting agenda for the day. And once I get the show opened up properly, we'll talk about the coronavirus 19.
I think you used lime to cure that.
And for those who
It's
don't
called the flu.
know, I have a I have an undergraduate degree. I have a BS in microbiology.
And I've just got
So-
BS.
So I understand
Just clarifying.
how how this thing came about and how it's working, and how the fake media is using the bacteria to churn up a lot of negative innuendo.
It's election year. Every election year, Eddie, we have a virus that just happens.
Oh, yeah.
It never happens
Oh,
in midterm.
Yeah.
It always happens election year, and they never allow more than one at a time to escape. Isn't that weird?
Well, we got to correct what Gabriel just said, because this is a presidential election year.
Mhm.
The midterm, which happens every 2 years,
And we've had some
you
there
know,
as well.
They have viruses, those terms also. So it's not just a 4-year virus.
No, I didn't say
You know.
that. I didn't clarify for you. You did. See, I was just saying election cycle.
No, you said midterm. Midterms mean something to folks who understand politics.
Okay.
So that means it's not the election,
Correct.
presidential election year.
Correct.
So
That means all of it. I covered it all.
So we have both.
You had to
Okay.
clarify it.
Okay.
Like
Anyway,
checkers.
anyway.
Moving on.
Anyway, for those who want to call in during the show today, the call-in number here at WTMP is 813-267. For those who want to call me, text me, on my phone, my cell phone number is Eddie Adams Jr.'s cell phone number is 813-212. Now, and before I get on with today's show, we're going to talk about Bernie Sanders also.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Bernie Sanders. That's on my agenda here of things to do.
Oh, good. I got a goodie on that.
People to talk about. So
Is that for me?
yeah, that's for you. My candidates and folks, the folks who listen to this show know I kind of pick candidates and I support candidates and I help candidates out. And we've been doing this ever since we've been on the air. So I have to make sure folks know who my candidates are, and and it varies from cycle to cycle, you know. And this year, you know, I got a couple of Democrat candidates, so people can't say, you know, it's just Republican, because I truly believe on the folks who gonna help this community, the black community. I don't hedge on saying black and white. I make sure folks understand who and what I'm saying. You know, and Trump is projected to get over 25% of the black vote. I'm just throwing that out there. Donald John Trump for president of the United States of America. Now, Sally Harris is running, you know, for school board District 7.
Sweetheart, good lady.
District 7. Selena Ward is running for school board District 5. Bob Henrique is running for Hillsborough County property appraiser, and Bob is a good guy. Spent some time with Bob, and Bob won me over. So Sheila Griffin, Congressional District 13, and that's in Pinellas County. So those are the folks who, at this point in time, you know, I am supporting, promoting, and doing what I can to help those folks get elections, even though the elections is some ways off. You know, the more you hear those people name, the more and more it's going to be ingrained that when you go to vote, you know who to vote for. Now I got my sample ballot from the supervisor of election the other day, and it pretty much only had, you know, Republican president of the United States candidates. So it had Trump and 2 or 3 other people on it. So that's gonna be easy for me. And I'm one of the people I don't wait till the last day to vote.
Good.
I always early vote, and I don't mail in, because just in case the U.S. Postal Service, you know, choose to lose a couple of, you know, votes here and there. Not that it's gonna count that much in the primary, but I'm just saying, you know, as a habit, I always vote early. And if I was in Chicago, I could say I vote often, but this ain't Chicago.
There you go. There you go.
But this is not Chicago. So, okay. So we got the show going. We're off and running. You guys know how to get the Strawberry Festival tickets. You know, go to the Facebook page.
Are they going to do a video of them dancing on one foot, rubbing their bellies and singing
No, it ain't like that.
Ah, forget it.
It's easy. All they gotta do is go to Facebook and go to our page, Porch Talk Radio, and join. Today, our topic of conversation is how do a political party somehow politicizes a virus or disease. And it's just happened that since 2000, since the turn of the century, every major election cycle, that's midterm for some, a presidential cycle for others, there's been some kind of disease. I mean, remember, 2008 they had Ebola, and then they had the Zika,
the SARS.
The SARS. You go down and name them. All those ones that you can name right off the top of your head. They have been since the turn of the century. And most of them have come about, during an election cycle. And some now let me update you. So far in the United States of America and their territories, we have 0 deaths from the coronavirus. The Corona-19 virus.
But California has 33 out of 39.56 million people, and it's a pandemic. It's going to kill them all.
Well, again, at this point in time, we got 0 deaths in the United States of America. Now, how did it get started? And I know a lot of folks ask that. It's a lot of viruses that are around in the wild. I mean, animals, bats, rats, cats, dogs, fish. I mean, there's viruses that live without harming natural populations, because the population that carries some of these bugs are immune to it. So it don't show up in the human population until somehow it's transferred from a animal to some human somewhere. Now, it just happened that in the middle of China, I'm not sure how many folks have been to China, but in China, those people eat pretty much anything. They eat rotten eggs. They eat dogs. They eat cats. You know, they eat bats.
They can catch it, it's going to get eaten.
They eat bats. You know, they eat rats. You know, anything that's protein. You know, it's a part of their diet. And we may look down on it and look down our nose at it, but for them, you know, that's a meal. They don't give a crap, you know, about American standards and American culture and your pets. You don't see pets running around over
You
there.
sure don't.
If you
Oh,
go-
look, there's Fluffy.
No,
That's the
no,
end of that one.
No, you don't
No.
see a bunch of pets.
No
You don't
Fluffy.
see free roaming chickens.
No
you know.
Fidos.
You know, you don't see, you don't see anything that we consider to be warm and fuzzy as part of their population walking down, up and down the street.
Mhm.
Their meal. Again, that being said, there's marketplaces in China
Mhm.
where they actually slaughter the animals in the marketplace. So they got an open market, and back there they're killing cats or dogs or rats or bats or whatever it is. So somehow in one of those marketplaces, the virus, which was a bat virus, and it's been around for a while. It just had not, made its way crossed over from the bat population to the human population. Was being slaughtered, and the blood, urine, feces, something from the bats that were being slaughtered
Somebody at bingo.
touched, a person, a people, and they touched their face, and or they breathed it in, and got infected. So most of the stuff that I read on the virus said patient zero, which is when these pandemics start, where it started, that person is usually considered to be patient zero. That's the first human who gets the disease. That person is in China, and the Chinese government, which happened to be a communist government.
So we really don't know the truth, folks.
Yeah, they pretty
'Cause they
much
won't let it be known.
kept it to themselves.
They will not let our people in there.
And the only reason it got out, the only reason the world knows about the pandemic, is because you had some Americans there, and the
That's the
Americans
Americans.
there kind of got
Got the word out.
well, they was isolated. So
They put on a boat, right?
So they wouldn't let them come straight to the United States. So they started telling folks about how many people were getting sick and how many people were dying. So information was getting out, but it wasn't coming from the Chinese government. It was coming from tourists and journalists and other folks who were there and who was being restricted, in their travels and put whatever from there. So the virus has killed thousands of Chinese. But in a population with 2 billion people, it's not a big deal. I mean, we have people in the United States who die of the flu every year.
And again, Eddie, just a quick point on that. The people that have died, a majority of those that have died, it's just like here in America, it's usually our older people. The immune system is less. It's not very strong. Maybe they're on certain treatments or medications and their immune system is down. But it's been a majority, just retirees, old people, that it's happened to.
Well, that's somewhat true, but not all true, because the doctor at the hospital that was treating a lot of these patients caught it and died, and he wasn't old, and his immune system wasn't compromised, and a lot of other stuff that goes on. So again, some of this stuff is
Yeah, we don't know what else he was hitting on.
A lot of this stuff is being put out by the media, and a lot of it is fake news. Again, somehow
Eddie.
this is Trump's fault, which is what I've been hearing for a whole week on how we fired somebody 3 years ago, and that person would have taken care of this. But again, that's just the media. That's the media doing what they do, trying to figure out a way how to beat Trump. And like I say, every year.
Are you saying you're weaponizing this virus?
No, they didn't. They didn't weaponize it. The Chinese were probably in the process
Of experimenting?
of taking. Once this guy caught it, and it was in the crossover the human population, they probably had a lab somewhere where they took this virus, and was in the process of trying to weaponize it, literally make a germ warfare bomb that they could use at some point in the future with this virus, because this is just the flu. This is nothing more than a flu virus, and it's a bunch of flu viruses out there, and we get flu vaccine every year, but it's not for this strain of the virus.
And this is the coronavirus. It's they call it strain 19
this
or
is
something
strain
like that.
19. So
Right. So this is the flu, the common cold. Just
Yeah.
depends on the person.
But again, it is intentionally been made to be more dangerous, more contagious than some of the other strains, and because it's all over the world. So it's in South America, it's in Europe, it's in Asia, but it's still more in China than there is anywhere else. And a lot of populations, unlike ours, don't have the medical care,
Right.
healthcare systems, that's been combating it. So again, as I started this conversation out, the number of deaths in America and American territories is 0. But somehow, to the media, this is something that everybody's gonna die because of
The sky is falling. The sky is
situation,
falling.
and it's always gonna be Trump's fault until they replace him until the election is over with. So
Well, no, it'll still be his fault after that.
we got to understand, where this stuff comes from. But again, every virus that come around every election cycle somehow, becomes, the product of the environment. And since the media is controlling the information, they make the information whatever they want it to be. So sometimes it's truthful, sometimes it's not. But our faith and confidence in the media, and I'm saying media, the mass media, has been waning because they have proven that they would do anything and say anything, that they think folks will listen to that may hurt Trump's chance of getting reelected.
And Eddie, real quick, just continue that narrative on just these viruses seem to show up around election times, whether it's 2 or 4 year cycles. 2004 was the SARS, the avian was 2008, the swine was 2010, the MERS was 2012, Ebola was in 2014, Zika was in 2016, Ebola again showed up 2018, they had to recycle that one, and then the corona is the latest and greatest for 2020. I can't wait to see what's next.
Okay, now I normally don't do this, but since this person actually, is somebody that I know and love, and I would do
Well, thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that.
anything for, Candy Low
Candy Low.
just sent me
Sweetheart.
a text saying that they're having, I guess this is the last day that you can do anything with the title, Black History Month event. So they're having a Black History Month celebration today at 5 p.m. from 5 to 8. The Black Business Bus Tour salutes Black-owned businesses at Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food Restaurant.
Well, that sounds good. Where's that?
That's in Ybor, but
Is it?
she didn't send me the address, and I don't have the address, so
It's in Ybor.
so she can call in and send me the address so I can get the address out to folks, phone number, something. But I'm just kind of reading what she sent me. So that being said, that's all the info I got, and I did announce it. And I tell folks, it's easier if you call in and announce your event than it is for me to try to read it, because occasionally I don't catch them, and I usually don't look at my cell phone while I'm doing the show. But I did,
There you go.
the goodwill was with her, and she was at the event last night. She got honored, and a number of people got
Really?
honored at the Muslim event last night. So they got
Okay, that's
got an
awesome.
event this afternoon from 5 to 8. Al Spring Looking Good restaurant in Ybor. Soul food restaurant in Ybor. But again, as I was saying, when you get lied to by the media, and sometimes all you got to do, the easiest way to tell if somebody's lying to you, they give you a date, they give you a time, they give you information that is quantifiable and qualifiable. You can kind of sit back and wait, because they say, well, the sky's falling next Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Well, next Wednesday at 4 o'clock, they lied.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They may have gave you the best information they had at the time, but it's a lie, because next Wednesday at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock has passed, the sky has not fallen, and now and then that same person come back to you and say, well, it missed today, but it's coming tomorrow, and then when tomorrow comes and the next day, that's how the media we have has been doing, for Trump, repeatedly, one line after the next line after the next line after the next line. So it gets, and I'm telling you, do these people like you do your friend. When they keep lying to you, you label them, that's a liar, he's a liar, and I don't believe nothing he say.
Ain't wasting my time.
And y'all know y'all do that. Y'all know y'all do that. He's a liar, don't believe nothing. Not only do you know he's a liar, you tell all your friends and family that person is a liar. You see what I'm saying? And it's only right because that person is constantly lying to you. And anytime somebody take their time, energy, and effort to lie to you about stuff, that's not just a reflection on them. It's a reflection on you if you believe them. Because, history tells you that person is a liar. Not only they're just a liar, they're a big A liar. If you know what the A stand for. They're big.
And we're talking about the media, right?
And they've been doing it for a
while.
while.
Not the politicians.
So every now and then, if they tell you the truth, you may be able to justify it. But our national media has been lying, and especially the black and brown folks. Man, between the media and the Democratic Party, they just consider you guys to be chump. They can tell y'all anything and you believe it. And at some point,
well, if it's on CNN, it's got to be true.
Well, I don't even listen to CNN. You got to realize that at some point in time, that these folks are lying to you. Now, what you got to do is kind of figure out why they lying to you, because they want some. People don't just lie to you unless they're born liars, and it's not many born liars. They usually think they're smarter than they actually are. So they're lying to manipulate you, or they're lying to get something from you, or they're lying to get a reaction from you, or whatever the reason is.
I think you're right on, Eddie, with that manipulation.
They need
understanding that they're having to run cover right now for the Democratic Party, because look at the Sanders and the 78-year-old men, 3 old white men, discussing their heart stents and who has the most, and then Lyon Warren. She's Indian. She was pregnant and fired. The lies go on with that one. And then Booty Call, he hasn't really brought something like that. He hasn't brought anything to the table of any value, and they've already shown him using word per word on Obama's speech and recycling. Which I understand that. Like, well, if it worked for him, they got black guys be able to work for a white guy.
Well, they got Biden for that too. One point in time for plagiarizing somebody.
And you know what? He stepped out in shame on that one.
Yeah.
He stepped out in shame. And he came forward and said, you know what? I did that.
Yeah.
He took responsibility and he backed away. And he's short memory, look, he's back again doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, again, you have to keep grasping at straws, because when this thing is over with, no matter who they get, and that's part of my next conversation, Crazy Bernie.
Oh, I got to go on that when you finish that one.
And that's what Rush Limbaugh calls him, and I'm quoting Rush Limbaugh. But not only is Rush Limbaugh calling him that, it's a lot of Democrats starting to call Crazy Bernie.
Except Pelosi and Schumer, who have said, Pelosi in particular has said, if that's what people want to support, I'll do it.
Yeah, but that mean they loses the House. That mean they loses the Senate.
No, you're thinking. That isn't required. It's not a Democrat thing right now. These politicians. I think it'd be awesome.
I want Crazy Bernie to win the Democratic nomination. Now I don't know how he's gonna do that, considering he definitely tore his butt, here in Florida with that Cuba and Castro thing. I mean, he had to go something to find something that was gonna upset Hispanic folks in Florida more than Cuba and Castro. I mean, for him to stick Castro up on a pedestal and bow and wave, and bend, at the hip, for, saying how great Castro was. I'm telling you, that's a hard sell in South Florida. And if you're gonna win Florida, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta win South Florida and Central Florida, or North Florida and Central Florida, but you got to win one of the two, and you need, one of those other parts of the state to help you.
Eddie, let me go ahead and add a positive spin on this guy. This guy just called. I just want everybody to understand there's at least 5 Sanders you need to be aware of. There's 5 Sanders. Know your Sanders.
Okay.
There's Barry Sanders.
Okay.
Okay. There's Belt Sanders.
Okay.
There's Dion Sanders.
Prime time.
Yep. And there's crazy Bernie Sanders. And then there's Colonel Sanders.
Right.
So just kind of get all your Sanders down in order, okay, folks? We're trying to help you here.
All right. Now, do we have another call? I know she, Okay. All right. All right. We good.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. Welcome to Porch Talk Radio on this Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you?
Hey, my dear friend. Hey, Eddie and Dave. This is Michelle Williams.
Hey, girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend. I'm having a clean shop here today.
You're working it.
I'm listening to the show. Listen, I'm listening to the show, and all those names that you call ain't now one of them, and I'm speaking ebonically.
Come on.
Ain't now one of them fit to lead a popsicle fit or a lemonade stand.
Woo!
I don't understand.
Bring it.
I don't understand how we are getting ready to try to elect any one of them and the Democratic Party runoff. Because if you ask me, they're only going to do exactly what they did when President Trump got elected in the first time.
Yep.
The Democratic Party mucked everything up, and you're getting ready to do the same exact thing. I mean, each of them is throwing so much. It used to be mud. Now they're slinging lava. They're slinging lava on each other. And I don't want to elect somebody 78 years old, and then 2 years later he have a heart attack or a stroke and die. Then we got to start the process all over again. We need to honestly say who in the world is fit to lead the free world. That's what we need to be asking, because none of those candidates are worthy of anything. I'm telling you, a lemonade stand, something that you put together with a cardboard box and a sign that says lemonade 50 cents, they can't even do that.
No, they can't.
They can't even do that.
And
thank you, guys. I'm enjoying the show. I'm laughing. I'm doing
thank
some
you.
bottles,
God bless.
And I'm loving it.
Thank you, girlfriend.
Take care,
I appreciate it. And I don't know if anybody noticed it other than me, but not this election, but when they was in Nevada, for some reason or another, when Biden was standing next to Buttigieg, he kept touching that guy. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Do he have a problem? Now maybe it was the proximity to somebody who he may have felt some kind of dominant relationship to, that he had to keep touching the guy, And I'm like, if he touched me the first time, I'd fix that. I'd straighten it out, myself, because
You mean if you came around smelling your hair, you'd have a problem with that?
They have another guy touching you repeatedly. Now everybody up there talking. It's a debate. You can talk to me without touching me. I'm sorry. And there's no such thing as a friendly male-to-male touch in that scenario. I'm sorry. We debating. We
got two old guys here talking about this, and I'm thinking,
for the free world,
I can't see that.
And they don't put him next to the women. So I guess it's a reason why he was standing next.
Because he'd have to show off his leg hairs.
Next to Buttigieg. But anyway,
They're blonde,
But anyway, thanks for calling Michelle. Michelle is a long-term good friend of the show, and we make stuff happen. I mean, Tampa got some black female magic happening.
Great ladies
happening here, and we got some females that make the world turn, and the axis of freedom and all that rotation is happening right here in Tampa. Cause we got some good ones.
Got some people involved in the community. When Eddie and I have always said right from the beginning of the first show, get off the couch.
Yeah.
Don't become a couch potato and just complain and whine and just call in at random and just itch because you want to itch, but you're not doing anything to change anything. You are the problem.
And something else. See, at the event, the Muslims in History event that we went to, Sister Connie Burton also got an award, and Candy Lowe got an award, and Michelle Patty, got an award. So now it was a bunch of guys that got award, but they picked the three females that making black magic happen, black female magic happen right here in Hillsborough County. So congratulations to those ladies and to the community that they serve. We could not do better in selecting folks to make a difference in our community, and that's why I make sure I give them credit for doing some of the things that they're doing, because no one is paying them. They're not on anybody's salary. They're not on anybody's slate. To make this happen, they're doing it because it's something that the community needs, and they're stepping up. And you all, if anytime you ladies need me, I'm just a phone call away, and I give my phone them out every week. And again, we're gonna do some stuff, you know, to make a difference. And as I said, the last couple of weeks, and for those who missed it, we as a community lost a great influencer when we lost David Strass, because we was working, you know, for those who heard this show toward the end of the year, we was in the process of trying to formulate a black credit union, black bank, you know, and we was having meetings, and David Strass came to the meetings. That was all in the hood, and had came up with the proposition of not trying to start from scratch, but let's buy a bank that was already in the state of Florida, and put a branch here in Tampa, and make that, you know, make that happen. And the initial cost was estimated to be about $4 million, and he was going to put the money up. That's where we were, making this thing happen. And then we were going to try to get a coalition of black churches to take some of the money that they put in the white banks and come up with the money and put it toward the cause, and then hopefully we would have been off and running. But something happened. David, you know, had some bad thing happen, and he passed away. But this community is ripe for some stuff to happen that's going to make a difference in a lot of folks' lives, and we want to be part of it. So that's why we do this show. We do this show because this is a platform for which people in the community who listen, and every week I meet people now more so than in the past who are familiar with the show. Most people knew me because I was a candidate for U.S. Congress for 12 years. You know, most people knew me from that. But now I meet people who listen to the show on a regular basis. But this is radio and not TV, so they don't know my face.
And that's a good thing.
But
We both have a face for radio. You
but
know
they
that.
know my name. And so when I give them my card, or when I tell them, you know, come on the show, or I extend opportunities for them to get involved in stuff, they say, I listen to the show all the time. And some of these people are Democrats. Some of these people are yellow dog Democrats. I got some Democrats who hate me, and hate is a strong word, but they tell me they hate me, so I take their word for it. I don't want to argue with them about it, you know.
No.
If you say you hate
Pray
me,
for 'em, get away.
I'm gonna take it for granted that you hate me, you know. And some of them are religious folks, you know. Some of them are pastors.
Those would be the meanest ones. What are you talking about?
Some of them
They got that religion.
leaders within
We
the
got
community.
Jesus. They got religion.
But again, all I know is what I do is try to make this community better. And if anybody got a problem with that, you have the right to do like that. Like they got, I ain't gonna call names, but like the guy who calls every week, you know, want to tell us stuff about Trump, and he don't understand.
That's all he's got to do, I guess.
Yeah,
You know?
well, again, now we've been doing this for 10 years, and this is our first heckler, because
That's true.
That's what is, you know. I mean, that's a long time to have a radio show and never have a heckler.
Everybody else seems to
You
have
know,
some sense, and they don't give us any trouble.
Because I know the show that used to come on after us, you know, I used to listen to it, and there would be a guy that call in and just say 4-letter words, you know, just say stuff, just say stupid stuff, talk about,
We ain't got time for
you
that.
know, talk about his family, you know, do stuff, and because we don't have a delay here on TMP, I don't know if I'm putting that information not supposed to go out, you know, but most radio stations have a 7-second or 4-second delay or something like that.
We should have a cutoff delay,
So it
that's
don't
it.
go out directly, you know. But again, I am on it. Our engineer is on it, and
We make it happen.
And we're not politically correct. We're not politically correct for a reason, because there's so many stations and programs where everybody's trying to be politically correct. You know, that they don't. You know, that they're not communicating with people. You know, in which they're not. They just spend so much time and energy and effort trying to not step on anybody's feet. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I step on your feet, your fault. It ain't mine.
There we go, because we've been at this too long.
Yeah,
we got this.
because I've been saying what I've been saying, you know, for over 10 years, and at some point in time, you know, and like last week, I had a brother that walked up to me in a meeting that I was in, and the brother say I am a newly registered Republican.
Awesome.
I went to the Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee
Okay.
and had a brother show up and say, I'm here. I mean, not only am I a registered Republican, I'm showing up at the meeting. So, he asked me, he said, you left early. I said, no, I waited till the young lady who was speaking, who was an attorney, and she gave
She
her,
had so much attorney information. My eyes started spinning around.
and she
Okay,
gave
I'm
her
done.
spiel, and when she was done, I left.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have time. It was 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I didn't want to listen to the questions and answers because her lecture was pretty thorough, and
Yeah.
I understand what was going on. And again, at that point in time, just to hear a bunch of folks ask a bunch of stupid questions, it wasn't worth my time. I wasn't interested in what the answers were.
Yeah.
And
No, you're right.
It was that, and then listen to the candidates, and then they were going to adjourn anyway. So I beat the traffic.
There you go.
So anyway, let's talk about Bernie Sanders for a little bit. Well, no, let's do on this day.
On this day, you can't forget that. Heaven forbid.
Yeah, because this day is a leap year. So, folks, this day only comes around every 4 years. Now, one of my friends said that their birthday is today.
Happy birthday.
And then he was trying to explain how he only has a birthday every 4 years. You technically can't say happy birthday to him again until 4 years from now because the 29th of February only comes around every 4 years. So I guess in 4 years from now, he will only age a year.
This is the opposite of dog years.
Technically, yes, kind of like dog years. Dog years every 7 years for 1 year. Every 4 years.
I'll drink to that.
How would they do that? But for everybody that's born on February 29th, happy birthday. I can say it today and mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other time, it's either going to be on February 28th or March 1st. Today is the 29th. So on February 29th, 1941, Hattie McDaniels became the first black person to win an Oscar award. She won Best Supporting Actress award for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind.
Mammy.
That was her role. On this day in 1972, February 29th, John Lennon, his U.S. immigration visa expired. It was the beginning of a 3.5-year fight for Lennon to stay in the U.S. On this day, February 29th, in 2000, Puff Daddy. Everybody know Puff Daddy.
You still got his albums?
Yeah.
His 45s?
Puff Daddy pleaded guilty to charges that he had attempted to bribe a professional driver to take responsibility for a 9mm handgun that had been found in a vehicle with Puff Daddy in following shooting in 1999. So
99.
I know it was in the news.
8 tracks were gone by then. Cassettes were in that.
A lot of folks were talking, about Puff Daddy going to jail, but Puff Daddy said it wasn't his gun, even though it was his vehicle, And last but not least, on this day, February 29th, 2010, in Japan, I'm an architect, the Tokyo Skytree Tower was completed as the tallest tower in the world. So
there you go.
So yeah, it didn't have the normal 2 or 3 pages of stuff when I did the on this day search, because this day only comes around every 4 years. It wasn't quite as many people born, and it wasn't quite as much stuff done, and all that other stuff. So anyway, well, we did have something. So on this day,
there you go.
It's done again until next week. And then next time we do it on a leap year, it'll be 4 years from now. So
there we go.
Okay, Bernie Sanders. What can I say about Bernie is that I hope Bernie Sanders win. I hope Bernie Sanders win because that's gonna make it easy on Trump. And a lot of Democrats kind of think, oh, Bernie's the only one that can beat Trump. Can't none of them beat Trump.
No.
You know, but again, if you're a Democrat and you got to put your hope on something, it might as well be the communists, because part of the reason that you are a Democrat is they have fed you free for so long. You start to believe it. You think that stuff they keep offering you is free. It is not. And every now and then, one of the Democrats on the stage, bring up the important question. Well, Bernie, how are we gonna pay for that? Oh,
Booty Calls tried that a few times on. He didn't like it.
It's only $60 trillion. It's only 90 trillion. I mean, astronomical numbers that if you took every dime that every American made for the next 9 or 10 years, you still wouldn't have that kind of money. But he's doing what politicians have done for years and 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 years.
You mean lie?
He has promoted what people want to hear. You got a whole faction of people who want their student debts to go away. Now, they had no problem with getting education, but somehow they don't feel responsible to pay back their tuition costs.
Especially when they can't make any money on their gender studies degree.
Even when they sign the contract saying, yes, I will get a 4-year education, I will get a degree in something, I will go to work and pay the money back. That's not good enough. And then you got folks who want free health care. And I kind of thought about that, for a long time. Either myself or my wife, has worked and had a job. And I've had a couple of issues. I actually had one hospital bill that was over $300,000 because my appendix ruptured, in 2006.
Yeah, they know you back then.
And I was in hospital for a month. I almost died.
Really?
Matter of fact, I should not have walked out of the hospital, according to a bunch of people, but I did, and that's God. And
there you go.
And nobody's more powerful than God. So God
Absolutely.
God will rules. But the fact of the matter, the bill was $300,000 when it all came due, and I had to pay like $3,000. So I paid,
You did good, buddy.
I could afford to cover the $3,000, but the $300,000 I would have been up, But folks who live their lives that way, it's hard for me to understand. But for somebody to say, we're going to give everybody in the United States of America free health care because they do it in other parts of the world. Well, again, folks want to hear that. And I'm telling you, folks telling you what you want to hear is the ruination of a lot of nations.
Absolutely. Eddie, there's not a country on this planet that has the best free medical available, period. It does not exist. And if people say, well, Cuba, which Bernie Sanders talks a lot about Cuba, and folks, let's get a quick understanding that everything that Bernie Sanders is talking about socialism, Obama said too.
Okay, we got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. We'll see if we can get you in here.
Make it quick.
What say you this Saturday afternoon? Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Go ahead.
This is Reverend Willie G. Dixon from Tampa, Florida.
Yes,
for
sir.
88 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to see you last night. Eddie, I vote for the person, not the party, because when I was in Sarasota, it was a Republican town, so I voted Republican. But I would like to, if you would, have you read the book by Reverend Wayne Peterman, The Blind Love Affair Between Blacks and the Democrats?
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I have a signed autograph copy by the author.
I have one, but now this is what I need for us to hear. The Republicans in the past refused to accept the inhumane treatment that blacks were forced to endure at the hands of those who represented the Democratic Party.
I know we got another caller. Go ahead.
But the other thing was the modern day Republicans, like their predecessors, must become more racial sensitive. They must, they claim what they're going to do, but they're not doing what the former Republicans did. So we need to get back to the principles of the early Republicans.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I got to tell you something, Reverend Dixon. I had a conversation on the way into the studio today, and someone was telling me, you know, if you're drowning and somebody throw you a life preserver, you're not watching, you know, trying to see who threw you the life preserver. You grab it and you try to go in. But somebody, now this guy's a black male, he said, well, if Trump throw me a life preserver, I'm going to throw it back at him because I don't want to be in bondage or enslaved.
Perfect. He'll drown. He'll take care of himself right there.
Yeah,
Bye.
exactly. That kind of takes care of itself.
Foolishness.
And I
Just
said,
foolish.
and I said to him, I said, of all the black colleges, you know, that were drowning, and without us browbeating him, he decided that they were worth saving. So there's some good things that's happening out there now, and thank you for calling. We got another call. Let's see if we get this last call in. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And what say you? Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Eddie.
Yes.
I wanted to talk real briefly about medical care, if I could.
Yes.
I've had issues in the past, and I'm going to tell you, for a lot of us, $3,000 is a lot more than we have. Now, I'm happy you're able to afford it and you're able to pay it, but $3,000 for a lot of people is way more than they have.
Right.
And the bottom line is that the medical profession in this country is no longer about helping people. They are just about getting your money. And that is why it's going to turn out to be socialized health care, because these people are greedy blankety blanks.
Yeah, but even socialized healthcare, somebody got to pay for it. The doctors and the nurses and the facilities and the research and development, all the stuff that go along with it, is not going to be free. Again, I'm telling you, they're telling you what you want to hear, but it's not going to be free. And in the state of Florida, I know because I've worked at a hospital for a number of years, there is something, you know, that's pretty much pauper's care. And it's not called pauper's care. It's called, you know, they got a couple of different names for it, depending on where you at. But the state of Florida puts millions and millions of dollars into major hospitals to help pay for the care. So you may not be getting the state of the art, you know, highest performing doctor and nurses and hospital care. But if you show up at the emergency room and something's wrong with you, they can at least fix you to whatever degree they could.
Let me say this, Eddie, very quickly. I'll just give you this example. My girlfriend has got cancer, and I don't know if she's going to make it or not. But Rush Limbaugh also has cancer, and I'll bet you the type of medical care he's going to get, he will survive.
He's got 33 years doing the same profession, sir. He's a multimillionaire. Yes, he will.
That's what I'm saying. People who have the money are able to get much
That
better
will never
healthcare than the
change,
rest
sir.
of us.
Socialism will never change that.
Yeah, even in socialist countries, people with money come here. They come here for treatment,
They
and they come here for their medical
The
care.
Prime Minister of Canada
You know,
came
and,
here.
and that's what money allows you to do. You're not stuck in a system, you know, just because you know that's the system. You if you are rich, if you got a jet, you know, if you got some money, you got millions and millions of dollars, you know, you can always get health care somewhere on the planet.
That'll always
you know,
be.
It's your choice to take advantage of it. And again, what Bernie Sanders is talking about
He has a
is
jet plane.
waiting in line. If you got cancer,
Well, I'm a Bernie supporter, man.
yes, sir.
God bless you, sir.
But if Bernie Sanders get elected to be your candidate, we're gonna kick his butt, you know, thoroughly, you know, in the general election, because most Americans understand that all of that stuff got a cost, and he's talking about trillions of dollars that we don't have. So it's really a pipe dream, but he's selling it well.
Yeah, and by the way, Donald Trump still sucks, man.
Yeah, well,
All
thank
right,
you.
buddy.
We appreciate it.
God bless you.
Okay.
Hope you get a life.
So, one more time, for those Porch Talk Radio, go to the Facebook page, like the page, and then text us, call us, you know, whatever you want to do. We're going to have a drawing tomorrow, pretty much about 12 o'clock, which we'll give away some tickets. We'll give away some Chubby Checker
How are they going
tickets.
to find out?
We'll contact them. We're going to give away some Chubby Checker tickets. You know, we got some general admission tickets to the Florida Strawberry Festival, which everybody that I know so far that's been to has really liked and
Their
appreciated.
shortcake is absolutely
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Oh my God.
I got the strawberry shortcake. We went to a media event, You know, last week, week before last, matter of fact, we went both weeks. You know, me and Tim went both weeks. So,
Plant's a lovely town to drive around in.
Anyway, the strawberry shortcake is amazing. So it was free the last time I went, but I won't mind paying for it. So next time I go, I will buy some of that strawberry shortcake because it is amazing.
It's amazing.
So we love you, Tampa Bay.
God bless.
Thank you for listening to this show. Until next week when we do all this again, same bat time, same bat station. We love you, Tampa Bay.
God bless America.
See you then. Bye-bye.